Good morning, guys and gals. Got the solo playthrough here for the weekly Nightfall. This is the Shield Brothers. Modifiers are Arcburn, Juggler, and IronClad. Wasn't sure how Arcburn was going to be, but it is the Scion Flares that pretty much make that thing brutal. So here we go. I sped up this first part just to show you guys you can't run by most of this in the beginning. As this is Arcburn, I am running with Zahalo Supercell. I've got an Arc Legendary Sniper, it's my Irene, and then I also have pulled out my Baron's Ambition. So run Arc across the board if you can on just about everything. If you're not running an Arc primary, something like Bad Juju might be good to give you more super. Anything that you feel comfortable with if you don't have Zahalo is going to be fine. The main thing, as I said before, is those Scions up top. Make sure you can keep your distance from them. Try and stay around corners, behind cover if you can, because their arc wave attack is going to be what hurts probably the most in this entire thing, outside of obviously the boss smashing you. But those arc wave attacks are pretty brutal. And then just watch around you. Those guys will be up top still if you haven't taken care of them. So come up here, and again, this ramp still even works because their arc wave can't get to you. So just anywhere you can have elevation change, take a corner for cover or anything like that, you can avoid their wave attack, which is pretty much going to take you out in almost one shot, and then it also gives you a little extra cover to play with. So just play the corners, play the elevation, and can work in your favor. I mean, don't stand at the bottom of a ramp because it can still come down that, but if you work at an edge, it can still work. See, after you take out those first groups of guys, you got this last group here. There's going to be a Colossus on the back left corner of the walkway up there. You can't see him yet, but he is back there, so just be careful. He'll be firing some rockets and stuff, and he messes me up pretty good. I got some damage into him with my heavy gun here, but even once he gets a wave of rockets off at me, they hurt pretty bad, so just be careful. I've got that one right there took a good chunk of my health off. And you got guys on both floors, so if you come around from the top when you're fighting the Scions, the guys can jump up to you, they can come underneath and come behind you, so just watch all around you, watch your radar. There's no chaff or anything today, so you definitely have your radar, so make sure you use it. And then once you take this out, the shield guy, grab any ammo you've got, make sure you're fully reloaded across the board, just because you've got the boss coming up next, or mini-boss I should say. This is the tank. You'll see here you got the burners on the floor, and there's this one pathway you can walk on. You can cross back through there and not take damage, and then you can hide around the corner if you need to recuperate and stuff like that. So make sure you use that if you need to. I do during this, just because doing this solo, you've got a lot focused on you. So ads, the tank, even distance ads across the way that you don't even know are shooting you. So just kind of watch yourself and watch your surroundings to make sure that you can pull back for cover if you need to. You've got normal health today, so your shields will come back, no exposure or anything. But again, just that tank shot will mess you up pretty good, and then you'll get surrounded by guys. So if you walk through the middle, you will not take burn damage. You can hide over here in the corner for a minute, reload, kind of get everything set. Again, I'm using my Zahalo Supercell, so trying to use that arc damage. It's also nice just because it has that chain lightning effect, so if you've got a group of guys and that chain lightning actually goes off, you're going to do damage to everybody. So it just helps do more damage across the board, more efficiency of your bullets, things like that. So watch these Scions here too. They can actually shoot that arc wave over that fire. It's still somewhat considered a level plane, so just be careful if you're doing that. But kind of the idea is, if you retreat back to that cover, don't hang back there forever, because the guys will kind of continue to respawn. They're not constant, but I mean, if you stay back there and wait for all guys to be gone, it's probably never going to happen. So clear out a good chunk of them. Make sure you have some room. I did take some burn damage there. Since I caught the corner. If you walk straight over the middle, you're pretty much just going to get fried. If you catch a corner or something like that, you can survive it, but I just would advise trying to make sure you run right down that middle pathway. I hang back here for a minute, just try and gather ammo, gather shield, stuff like that, and you can see my shield comes back up. So trying to take that guy at distance, but the Zahalo is just not great at range, so try not to waste your ammo that way either, because again, it is Juggler, so if you need to use a heavy, pick off those guys with a sniper. I try and save my sniper ammo for the tank itself, but if you can't, then so be it, if you're trying to at least survive. Got one Centurion here. He does have a solar shield. You can take that out with even Zahalo just to take it down, but probably a heavy gun is going to be the best for him. Snipers, I wouldn't waste the bullets just because you've only got 4. The machine gun will drop it pretty quickly, and then you can make fast work of it once your shield is gone. You can use Zahalo on him. That'll take out the shield as well. It just takes a little longer. And then at this point, I just kind of hang back here. gather ammo, gather shields, just make sure you get everything up. This can be a time too if you're taking a break. Try and get your super back up if you're running a bubble or self-res or anything like that. It can be a good time just to hang back here. This whole strike is one that you kind of need to take patiently, just because there are certain times where if you can kind of glitch the system or find the right place to hide, you can pretty much recover just about everything outside of, you know, using heavy ammo synth. I don't think I want to wait 10 minutes for 2 heavy ammo synths just to fill back up. But if you balance your ammo back and forth, make sure you switch. Another one I would say here, just run a machine gun if you're killing those Scion flares. Not the flares, just the Scions. So that way you can get normal ammo to drop. As you can see, I'm down to about 30-40 bullets for my normal gun, and so it's just time for me to start using my heavy ammo so I can get some normal ammo drops. I got plenty of sniper ammo. Those tank wheels will take basically 5 shots from my sniper. It is an Irene RR4, so it's pretty high impact, and it's 317, so not going to get much higher, and it is arc. So I've got about 17,000 damage. Probably going to get maybe 18 if you had 320, maybe. It'd probably max out there somewhere in that nature. But it does take me 5 shots to get those wheels down by my sniper, so I can't even do it in a full clip. So I don't know if you run something like Defiance of Yasmin, if you've got that one more bullet in the clip, if you can get it all the way. Be interesting to test that. I just was running with my Irene just because it's my higher impact. I wanted all my shots to count. Here, again, just make sure you try and share your shots between the back. Go for the back first if you can. If you get him, get that tank cannon behind like a corner wall or cover, anything like that, go for the back tires just so you can take those down first. Those are the harder ones to usually get an angle on, so whenever you get a chance at them, make those a priority. Again, you can see here, just coming back, retreating for cover and hiding. Most of the guys will not follow you. That one guy you saw did follow me down below. Most of the time they won't do that though, so you should be pretty safe over there. If you do, just keep running back. You probably will get him to at least turn around at some point. So I think finally I've got this back wheel to work on. The cannon definitely is seeing me. So just try and duck behind this wall here. You can use this angle to your advantage because it can still see you, but then if it shoots at you, it'll hit the wall in front of you. So I did drop the tank there, so picked up a lot of ammo. Usually in this room, if you wait a minute and look around, there's either going to be a special ammo in kind of the back right or heavy ammo back left. Usually there's some type of ammo box in this room, so just look out for it if you're low on something so you can at least make sure and get restocked for the next area. There's my heavy ammo that's on the left, you can see, so I run around and check what guys are down, see what ammo I can pick up. Ammo is kind of a big thing with Juggler, so make sure you get everything you can. Here's the heavy ammo underneath. I think the special's basically opposite this on the other side, down here on the lower floor. So once I'm fully stocked up, I think I'm just checking to make sure what I've got. The next room, you'll come back around. This is where I'll fight the Taken, and these are the Acolytes. They do have void shields as well. So I use the Zahalo. The chain effect kind of helps because they are grouped together, but they are not the easiest ones. If you want to use your heavy machine gun, you can. If you've got boots or anything to make sure you've got more bullets of heavy machine gun. My Baron's Ambition had like 190 when I finally switched that over. So it's really helpful to have that. I would just consider trying pretty much anything you can to increase your ammo capacity on your special and heavy. So if you've got Armamentarium, Ruin Wings, all that stuff's probably going to be good. And if you've got boots from the raid or anything that will increase your ammo capacity on heavy, on special, snipers and machine guns specifically, of course. But check those out and just watch those guys. The Centurion on the stairs will actually shoot those Axiom darts, so be careful. Those things will still track you down around this box and they'll make it back this far. So watch those and then just pull out your sniper. And he's got an arc shield, so he goes down pretty quick once you get a shield down. Crit those guys, they'll go down in one hit, otherwise probably take 2. You will have more guys on your left when you come around this corner, so just be careful. You're not just gunning forward and forgetting about them. I don't know if they're going to come up and follow you, but it's definitely worth killing them, seeing if you can get more ammo, and just taking everything out. As I said, they do have void shields, so they do take a little bit of work even with a void gun. If they didn't have any shields, they probably wouldn't be too bad, but the shields make them a little harder to take down. So I think I've got everything here. Going to progress to the next section. Nothing too bad so far. I mean, the tank, you got to watch the cannon for sure. Watch the Scions when they get close up, because if they do that arc wave to you, you're done. And then just play that cover. If you can thread the needle through the fire, you can hang back and actually kind of recuperate back there. Get your shield, get your super, whatever you need to. So just take your time, be patient on this one. If you're working with somebody and you need to pull back, that's just your safest place to do it. There's that special ammo box there on the left. As I was pretty much full, I just kind of went ahead and passed it, didn't even pop it. So I'll clear this room pretty much with all sniper. It's kind of one thing you can do if you see an ammo box and you know you're mostly full, clear your room with it and then come back and pick it up, because just one more way to save ammo. Juggler is just a pain on this one because you need all the shots you can get, and then when your main weapon, your primary, isn't even dropping, it's kind of brutal. So you'll have guys down in the middle, you'll have the Colossus in the back. If you can pick him off with your sniper, you'll be fine. A couple phalanxes in the back right, they'll be kind of hiding back there. They're not too aggressive in this section. There they are, so they'll kind of wander through the middle and then probably retreat to the back. And I don't think there's too many more guys. There's probably one or two down to the right in that kind of little crevice or canyon or valley, whatever you want to call it. There's always a few hanging down in that area. They at least spawn down there and hang there. If you walk in, you might get them to move around. Just make sure you check off to the right, because there typically can be some down there. And make sure you're switching up guns too. Heavy will get you to drop special and normal. If you're running normal, you get some heavy to drop, special, all of that the same. So just alternate guns. You'll get different things to drop. You'll actually see more heavy drop. I'm running Ruin Wings for a decent amount of this, which is probably why you're seeing a lot more heavy drop, especially the double boxes. That's probably on account of Ruin Wings. But still, I mean, just make sure you alternate. You got to have primary weapon ammo in this one, so it's important. Take out what you can. I think I'm pretty well stocked up, but I'll come back up and get this box anyway. May as well max out my sniper. And the strike is fairly short, actually, because I know if you guys ever watch the stream, I mean, this is 12 minutes in on my video here, and you're pretty much at the boss room. So at this point, it's the patience of the boss room and working your way through. I'm just looking around, making sure I've got all of my ammo. The door was a little slow to open, but you just have to walk down here and it will open up. So if you're worried about where to go or anything, you just have to walk up to it. It should work. Go down this hallway and then you're going to be in the boss room. The boss has multiple phases. You've got the first guy who will charge you, and once he gets close to you, he does kind of a flying leap and then slam attack that is fire damage for one, so it's not quite as bad, but if it hits you directly, then you're definitely still going to die. So you can kind of get a glancing blow somewhere on the edge of it and survive it. It'll take off a lot of your health, so just be careful. But he is solar damage, so not quite as bad. The second guy has a mortar attack, but it is arc, so if that one hits you, you're pretty much done. I think I took one that was a partial shot and survived it, but most of them, if I was not paying attention or forgot to move around, there were many points where I died. So I cut all my deaths out of there, so you guys didn't need to see them. But basically what you could do is kind of play Ring Around the Rosie with this circular pillar and this guy. One thing, so you've got two sides of the room when you come in. You've got the spawn on the right and the spawn on the left. They're doors in the sides of the room where enemies will spawn. This is the one on the right, the left over here that you just saw. And the one opposite me, that's pretty much to my back at this point, is the one where enemies are going to spawn. And that's where the Psions spawn the first time. There's about 6 or 7 of them. The best thing you can do is put about 4 shots into his head. They do about 24,000 each for me, so about 96,000 damage is basically when he will call his first wave of reinforcements. It's right around kind of a quarter health. So you see it, that apostrophe. So the main shots, once I put it in, you'll see the reinforcements inbound. Run up here, throw a grenade as soon as you can. Try and get them clumped up. It's one of the best ways you can do it, because those guys are the ones that ways. If they spread out and you're working on a lot of them, they just start to get really annoying and tedious. Out of the other side, on this set of reinforcements, you'll just get 3 phalanxes. They're not too bad. They will continue to ping you, but if you can keep the phalanxes under control and then keep rotating around the pillar with the boss on the other side of it, you shouldn't have too much to worry about for a minute. Again, he will circle around this thing, and if you hide in cover for long enough time, he will basically just kind of forget you're there. It's more of a line of sight thing for him, kind of like a T-Rex. So keep him circling around this pillar. Get your shots if you can. If you want him to stop or slow down, come back around the pillar to the other side. You'll get him to basically stop for a second when he changes directions. That'll be your short time to get a sniper shot. I've been doing this enough here. Basically, it's kind of a backing up in a circular direction around this thing that you do. And just work your way around. Ran out of sniper ammo here, so I'm just running around seeing what I want to do, if I want to go grab sniper ammo or what. Probably want to pull him around to the other side, so when I go pull sniper ammo, but I got his health down low enough. Second wave of guys spawn here. Again, have that grenade ready. Make sure you take out the guys. Machine gun is great here for this, just because if you can take out at least half the ads first, you're going to be in pretty good shape. This is the first time I do use my bubble. I use it quite a few times in this, just due to the fact that the guys start to overwhelm, and those arc waves are a pain in the butt. So if one of those hits you and you don't have a blessing on, you can kind of kiss it goodbye. So I pop in and out of this thing pretty consistently, trying to take one guy out at a time. You've got that Centurion in the back. Make sure you tag him pretty quickly if you can, or at least keep him off of you. But almost the Psions are more important if you're working with like your shield, just to make sure, because you can kind of run around and jump away. But if one of those Psions catches you off guard, that Psion wave attack is going to pretty well take you out. So I know I've repeated that multiple times, but I can't count how many times I died from it. So just trying to reiterate the importance of that. You can take those Centurions out in just about one clip. So make sure you hold on to that primary ammo as well. It's pretty important. And this is the point where it starts to get interesting. I did actually take one of those shots there, barely survived. I'm pretty close to max armor, so I don't know if anybody else normally would for other classes. But you'll see what he's doing. He's firing, and he cannot hit me because the way the ceiling is shaped, if you can stand near the wall, he will fire up at such an arc that he hits the ceiling and it will never come down and hit you. You'll know this is actually an effect when he's firing very quickly. Normally they take a long time to arc through the air and land, and he'll do a couple rounds of them. He will continue to fire them over and over and over as you're sitting here waiting. So this is just a great place. If you get too close to him, he will move, and then you'll throw him off. If you get him in the center of the room, he will just have more of an ease to attack you. But if you keep him near the edge, and you either go straight across the way about 1-2 columns, or this side, if you go 2 columns near this kind of bony grass, I don't want to say grassy because I don't think there's one shred of grass in this entire dreadnought, but it's this kind of hill over here. It's about 2 columns to the left, because you got the one next to him, the one right on the left of my screen I can see, and then there's one right behind me. If you're between these two, you're in a pretty safe spot. This is also going to be an important spot later when both bosses are out. You'll see that I can actually kind of glitch the boss and get the one who runs around to stand still. So at this point you can see that I'm not going to take any damage. You can dance, clap, whatever. Just wanted to show you guys you are 100% safe here. And the key again about these guys is the damage you do to them is when the waves come, the ads spawn. So when you do about 96,000 damage, or the equivalency with another sniper, once you get him down to just below that quarter health or right at it, that's when the ads will spawn. So here, I'll do this. Now the key about this is try and take out one side of ads as quickly as possible, because you're going to want to stay exactly where you are. You don't want to move, because this is your safe spot for the mortars. If you're running around, you're not catching or paying attention to where they're at, the mortars will just take you out in one shot. So if you can actually take out the ads before anything gets too crazy, you can stay here. You don't have to worry about moving, don't have to worry about the boss, and you can kind of keep everything at bay. Not too many guys left. Again, just use them as a halo, keeping them at distance. It's still reasonable at range. I'm hitting for about 1100. It's not max, because that's probably about 12 or more. But again, still sitting here totally safe. I'll run around, pick up ammo just to see if I can max out before I start taking him down and getting ready for the next set of guys. I do try and save my bubble on that part, just because the next set of guys is pretty rough. But you'll see it's this little hill of kind of just stuff on the ground. Maybe it's bones, whatever it is. But this is that safe hill I'm talking about. And it's just to the left, just to my left, there's a pillar or a column in the wall. And if you tuck into that one, that'll be the safe spot when both of the bosses are out there. So we'll get to that here in a minute. Just wanted to keep refreshing you guys where that one is at to look for it. But yeah, you can just sit here and snipe him all day until he turns around and leaves. Right when he leaves, you'll get the 4th wave. And again, you want to try and trap as many as possible in the doorway. Catch them when they're coming out. Hit them quickly so you can at least take out half the guys, so there's less to cycle around and run around. And this part is just kind of tough. There's quite a few ads. There's a couple Centurions. Not too many Psions on this part. I think there might be a couple, but the 2 big ones are the Centurions just because they hit so hard. And then you've got just quite a few other ads, plenty with rockets as well, so they just start to escalate at this point. Again, that Centurion, you can take down their shield, and I almost had him, but you'll take down a shield in about half a clip and then take him down in a full clip. There are a couple of those Legionaries, 2 of them that are yellow bars, so just be careful. Those will be the rocket launcher guys that are running around. And don't hang too long on this section. If you just stay here, the bosses will spawn in, which I don't know if they do or if I kill the guys fast enough, but they will start to spawn in, and you won't get much more than kind of a music and audio cue. But I've got a couple guys left over here that I didn't notice, so kill those quickly so you're kind of in position. And pretty much what you're going to want to do is snipe the first guy who's charging you straight as he comes out the tunnel. Unlike when the actual strike, when he walks in the first time, his health bar is up as soon as you get going. And here's that point where I wanted to show you guys. If you don't do too much damage, you won't spawn the next set of ads. And here is where you can control this fight. So if you can see he's running to me, but if I back up to the wall, he will actually turn around, kind of wander away, and then he will actually somewhat retreat. So if you get him in your view, he's still going to retreat back to that center area behind that column. This is one of the best ways I've found this. If you just wanted to try and run around and solo this and shoot the guys and then have the ads just running free and him running free, it's pretty much a miserable fight. I tried many times and I kept dying. So I happened on this one actually. I wasn't sure it was there, but because I did it earlier, had to leave, had to come back and restart this thing, and I couldn't quite do it. But if you get your back to that wall, he will stay still. You'll see he's kind of venturing out, but if I push my back again to the wall, I am safe. And then as soon as I do enough damage to him, more ads are going to spawn. So here's the point where kind of keep my back to that wall, keep yourself safe, and then just pop in and out of your bubble. Make sure. And then he did actually charge there, so it's not 100% if you're moving in and out too much, but if you're stuck in that corner, you should be relatively safe. Again, I'm able to get back there. The key is getting him, I think, on that side, that far side of the pillar, and then running back to your safe spot. Don't get too close to the mortar guy. You might get him to move around and change this whole position as well. But again, you can see he's looking right at me and then stops and turns around. So this is kind of my saving grace of this solo run. Got my shield there, so I'll take out these last couple ads. This wave of ads isn't as bad. You're going to have those couple Centurions that come from each side, but mostly they're Legionaries, couple Phalanx. So at this point, I've got the guy on my left shooting the ceiling. I've got the guy on the right who's basically stationary, or if I look at him, he's going to retreat back farther. So no more ads are going to spawn until you kill Valus Malul. I can't even pronounce that, but basically if you kill the fire guy, more ads will spawn. So you're going to want to kind of make sure you're prepared before you take that final shot on him from back here. Make sure everything's reloaded. Pull out your sniper. If you need to wait on your bubble, wait on a heavy ammo synth. Totally worth doing it. I think here I do actually wait on my bubble just because the next wave of ads has yellow bar phalanx. There's just a little mix of everything, and they come right from behind where the mortar guy is shooting right now. So they're going to come fairly close to you over here as well. You are going to be safe. That guy in the mortar won't move, but just because the guys are going to be close, you're going to want to make sure you have some type of cover and shield. If you're not on this side or the other side, say you've got a friend, he could be on the other side just as equally safe for the ads that come out. But if you're working on this boss by yourself, especially hang over here in the corner, if you've got two of you, hang back as far as you can in this corner, trying to get him to stay exactly where he is. So they spawn back out with about half health. It's another thing you guys should know. Once you get them to a certain health and they retreat, it doesn't matter. You can get them down to a sliver. If you unload everything into them, they're still going to spawn back at half health. So just save your bullets. Unfortunately, this part's kind of boring just because I'm in here checking my bubble, seeing what I want to do. Be if it's spike grenade or magnetic grenade or whatever I want to run for this next section. But as you can see, I'm in my inventory and I'm alive. So if you play this part correctly and you can get him to basically retreat back, and you never get too close to the arc guy, because if you get him to move, you might throw everything off. But if you can get close to this wall, I don't know if it's a combination of him not wanting to get in the mortars or just a weird kind of glitch with his AI, but it's kind of a way to keep him at bay instead of running around like a crazy person. Here I take him out, so here's when things are coming. So my bubble's just about ready, so I knew when I took him out it was coming. Pop my bubble just a little bit. The only problem with the bubble at this point, the mortars are going to be hitting the top. You will take some damage if you come out and the mortar hits right at the same time, so try and time it in between mortar explosions just so you can actually get out of there without taking too much damage. Pull out your heavy gun first. Make sure you drop as many guys quickly as you can. Pop in and out. But there's the yellow phalanx, as you can see. Run back in here. You've got a Centurion behind me, but the yellow phalanx, you don't want him coming in here and blasting you out of your bubble. So again, this corner is still safe just for the mortars if you need somewhere to hide and fight guys. So I unload everything I can to that Centurion, who's also yellow barred. So you've got a yellow barred Phalanx. I think there's 2 of those. 1 yellow Centurion, and then a mix of pretty much everything else. Some Psions and a couple others. So Psions, again, important. If they get too close, that Psion wave will pretty much ruin your day. So hang back here. I've wasted my bubble, but at this point, this is the last wave of ads, so if you can survive this, be careful. That Phalanx, he's got a reasonably powerful little gun. It doesn't seem like it's doing that much, but as, you know, I'm sitting here at full health, and then I'll go to attack him some more. He drops my health faster than I think he should, so just be weary of him. If you're running around and you're taking damage and you don't know why and it's just a shield guy, he hurts. So it's something I wasn't quite expecting. I don't know if it's just it's yellow, they bumped up his damage or what it is, so that was a terrible grenade throw. So finally getting close here, and then we start working on the boss. So be careful, make sure you don't stand still too often. If you're running around, you got to keep moving. Those mortars will take you out in one shot. So if you're standing still working on a guy going for a snipe, it will just land on top of your head and your run will be over. So make sure you keep moving. It's worth moving around, getting a few shots, even if they're not the greatest, just to make sure you can take them out. Finally pulled out my heavy gun so I could finish him off. And then now the boss. What you can decide to do is do this multiple ways. I go at this as kind of a run-in, take some shots, and jump out. But he won't do anything until you basically get too close to him and also invade his bubble. If you do enough damage to him, you'll get him to move. I threw a grenade at his feet, did some damage. He pops his shield up again. But if you get too close to him, he will do the charge that the other guy did and slam the ground and leave the fire on the ground type thing. So again here, I'm looking around trying to see if those things are going to come. I think that one's actually going to miss. That is going to hit the ceiling. I thought it was going to, but it was actually going to eke through, so definitely not a safe spot. So keep moving. I've got my grenade energy pretty high, but run in, take some shots, run out. You don't want to be stationary very long at this point. If you kind of hover at the edge of his bubble, do enough damage to get him to move, he is manageable. He's not going to run around and charge you like a crazy person. He's going to shoot mortars when he can at range. If you jump in, you know, throw a grenade at his feet, that will get his shield to go down, but sometimes he'll just put it back up. Other times he'll jump halfway across the map to relocate. So it's just kind of a bouncing game between doing damage to him, getting at a safe range, seeing if you can get him to move, and seeing if he puts his bubble back up. Coming up towards the end of this, I think, actually, guys, so I do appreciate you watching this if you've made it this far. It took a long time for me to get this done this morning, probably 3 hours, because this was done in multiple attempts. Just because the first one I was at the boss room and then had to leave my controller for a bit, and it idled, so I got kicked out and had to redo everything. So don't do that if you can help it, but you never know. The first part's not too bad. The tank just takes a little patience. Once you get here, it's just trying to figure out the combination of everything. As I said, it's just do a little bit of damage. If you get your grenade up, throw it at his feet. That's kind of one of the reasons I was doing the spike one. It's just one of those that would continually hit him before he moves. If you get him to jump, you'll see he did that slam right there. So if you get too close to him, he's going to do that. So that's kind of the other piece of this, is when you kill one of the brothers, the other one takes his abilities. So he got the gauntlet that he can slam the ground with and do damage, but he's still going to have that mortar ability. Again, just jump in, do some damage, unload everything you can before the shield pops, and then if you come into the border of the shield, once the mortars start firing, get away from them so you get the first couple out of the way, and then just keep moving. I don't know if he actually will shoot over this. I feel like normally he can definitely get over that, but if maybe you're out of line of sight, he won't attack you. It's kind of one of those tests I was trying right there. But sniper, still great, still going to do about 24,000 damage to his head, so you'll drop him pretty quick if you can get those shots on him. And you can take time to do 1 or 2 sniper shots. And finally got him there, so that's pretty much it. It was pretty brutal. It took me many deaths, so if you are trying this, don't worry. I died a lot. But yeah, just patience. That wall you can see over there that I was just looking at, that's that back corner. To where if you can get the charging and slamming guy back in that area, and you can get him separated, you can get his AI to kind of glitch and hang back. So that was basically what allowed me to do this. If I was running around the entire time, it's really rough. But make sure, watch the health on the bosses, because that will spawn the enemies at certain times. As soon as the enemies spawn, try and take out 1 door worth, whichever one you're closest to, so you can minimize them running around and try and surrounding you. And just watch that wall. Once the mortar guy's out, you can go on either side, but I have not tested both sides when both guys are out. So good luck out there, guys. Hope you guys had fun. This one was rough for me, kind of beating my head against a wall, but I do hope you guys have fun this week. We've got Crimson Doubles coming up as well. So look forward to that one. If you want to play with me, my PSN name is Ebontis. Ebontis, and give me a like, subscribe if you guys are enjoying this stuff. I'll keep doing as much as I can, maybe some Crimson Doubles Let's Plays or anything like that. So have fun this week. Crimson doubles it up. Let's see what the Enrage is all about, see if this is worth the wait or not. And then hopefully maybe at the end of this week we'll see probably some stats on Crimson doubles. Maybe next week we'll finally see something on PvE. So cross your fingers, everybody. We definitely need to get some PvE content in here. I think we're all running pretty dry. Good luck out there, guys. Have fun, and just keep your head on a swivel.